think a lot of times people like it to be like one reason why people experience homelessness, and I don't think that's at all what it is, because people are people, and everybody, they say the average American's 2 paychecks away from experiencing homelessness themselves. And so I think it's such a complex thing, and there's so many parts to it that you can't boil it down to one reason or one cause.
I was living in Montana, and the reason I was there, I was pastoring a church. And I was married, 3 kids, everything else. And ministry, there's a lot of pressure on the family. And the long and short of that, we ended up with a divorce. I was married 26 years. So, and I was in Montana. So after that, I had to find some work. So I got into sales, and that went real well. And then 2018 came, and the company went out of business.
I was a hot shot for about 2 years. Played semi-pro football for a year, and then I joined the military. I went overseas to Japan for about 6 years. I moved around. I wanted to see what I was fighting for, so I moved from state to state. Ran into financial issues and found myself out on the streets. And I ended up at the road home in the wintertime. I got with the vet program.
And that's the first time I went into the road home. Totally, going from a really high salary, great job, and then all of a sudden.
Our main goal is really just to connect men in need to the services that can help eliminate whatever barriers led them to homelessness, connect them to a housing plan, a case manager, whatever else they need to get back out into the community.
We're not just focused on housing them for the night, but it's a strategy of getting them in housing first, getting them into homes, and getting them in a setting where they can start returning to what you and I would call normal day-to-day living.
I think that the road home is great at providing that housing resource, and I think that with housing, it's a very simple, quick way to solve homelessness, and I really believe in housing and housing first. And I think the more affordable housing options and housing resources we have out there, the more people we're going to be able to get housed and get off of the streets and out of shelters. The locator job is a cool job because we do get to assist everybody in some way with housing, whether that's just with a housing search, even if they aren't eligible for a funding source at that time. But I do wish that there were more affordable options for people that are searching for housing.
We have, as an agency, have decided to take a housing-first approach, which means that we will focus on trying to provide housing opportunities to everybody as quickly as we can, but we prioritize housing for those experiencing chronic homelessness to reduce the amount of people that fit in that category and expand the amount of shelter options that might be available to others. Only 13% of the people that we serve fit what you might call a chronically homeless stereotype, people that fit into that image of chronic homelessness. That 13%, though, they use about 62% of the bed resources on any given night.
Seeing someone who walks through our facility go through the process of engaging with services, building a housing plan, and then signing that lease, and that could take a day, that could take a week. For some, that could take a month or even a year. But seeing the look in someone's eyes when they realize that they're moving out of that facility and back into housing is, you can't even describe it. It is one of the most powerful things I've ever seen.
I literally still have my bunk certificate from the road home above my mirror in my bathroom. But I look up at that certificate and I go, I love the people that work with me, but I will try my best never to be in that situation again. And the main thing that I do enjoy and I love is to be able to have my 2 keys that are on my side every day and open my door and go in my house, sit down with my dog, because I'm a dog guy, and watch Married with Children. But I'm very simple.
How it really makes a difference in clients' lives, and if you can help a case manager make that connection, and that connection allows them to finally convince a person to take a housing opportunity that's available to them, and for them to finally get over the fears that kept them from moving out of shelter and get into a place of their own, it really trickles down, and you can see that you feel like you have really made an impact.
It's a beautiful thing to have people that have your back. People that have your back gives you that, okay, I can fail or I can have a bad day, but if I do, I don't have to sit and dwell. I can reach out. People just have avenues where they can go become their own village, talk with each other, release like that negative energy, and hopefully go out with some positive